This is a Jmix exclusive.
You know, so he had a lot of things going for him. You know, I just really hate that it happened like it did, because I was like I told you before, I was kind of born, you know, on the psychic tip. You know, I was born like that, so I know about spirits and all kind of stuff that most people just now beginning to believe in. I was born like that, and I've been reading people since I was a little kid. And one of my boys up there, the one that brought me into the game, Tony Green.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tony Green brought me in. He brought me and Butch in. And he brought me in first, because we did this TV show with Snoop and Dre, and then we did G thing on that. And that's when everybody was dressed like Funkadelic, and I was always associated with Funkadelic even before I started playing with them, because I was in the studio when they would make us some of the records back in Detroit, playing with the Dramatics and all that. And I played with George many times, toured with him for years, and so they got me. It was going to get somebody else, but said, no, Tony Green said, Ricky Rouse. So anyway, that's how I got in the thing. And I came in with Snoop and Dre on Nothing But a G Thing. And we did that on MTV Movie Awards. And it was Eddie Murphy was the host of it at that time. But that's when I first got to Death Row. So when Pop came, I had already been seasoned in the game with that situation by then. So because he came 2 years later, and like I said, he became the focal point, because Snoop album was the biggest album, of course. But when Snoop was going through this thing with the trial, so things was kind of iffy about how things was going to go and all that kind of stuff. So Pac was a worker, man. That's another thing he had in common with Jimmy. He was studio rat. I mean, he would get his work. He was getting it in. I mean, he was really getting it in. So it kept me really busy. I mean, I had offers to go out with the Gap Band and different stars and stuff like that, but I was making so much money at Death Row, I just stayed in town and worked, because that's what was happening. And I was enjoying my work, and especially with that guy. He was a special guy. He's a really special guy. So any question you want to ask me, I'll tell you what I know, But I mean, like I don't know if I should even say that, but I mean, the part I was talking about with the psychic thing, my brother Tony Green knew I was like that, and he knew I was accurate with it. So I started reading Dre and started reading all my stuff would come out true, and then they put me to the test, because we was before Pop came. We supposed to do this 2-month tour, right? And I read the tour. I said, man, this tour ain't gonna last no 2 months. It might last 2 weeks, but it ain't gonna last nowhere near no 2 months. And they said, oh, you wrong now, man. Yeah, no, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna make it happen. I said, okay, we'll see. I think it's less than 2 weeks. Guess how long the tour lasts? 8 days. So after that, they wouldn't question me no more, because I was batting 100 with that, and I wasn't even trying to show off like that. It was just a gift I had from birth. I was always like that, still like that. But it's just the fact that Pac knew that. He had heard about me being that kind of guy. And as well as being able to play music, he knew I was kind of one of them gypsy kind of guys like that. So he wanted me to bring, when he was doing his last movie, he had me in there with him, because he was playing a bass player that was from Detroit in that last movie, they did Gridlock'd. And I was his bass player, and I'm from Detroit. So he wanted me to hang out with him and show him how to look like he could play the bass. he didn't really have that. I showed him how to just play it off, but we would just talk about deep stuff. We talk about Jimi Hendrix, we talk about spirits, we talk about whatever. But then the last time he asked me to bring my cars. I said, "You sure, Pop?" He said, "Yeah." I don't know if we should even pair this on the thing, but I'm just telling you because it's true, and it's deep like that. But I brought my cars, and he shuffled the cars, and I laid the cars out, and the last card was the death card. And a lot of times, death don't mean death all the way. It means that you're making a new life for yourself on this side. But the cards I saw leading up to the death cards were violent cards.
Did you convey that to Pac? Did you tell him that?
Pac saw it with me. He saw it with me. We both froze. Not only did he see it, he felt it. It was a deep moment because I didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. And he wasn't the same for the rest of the evening. Because he knew I had this reputation of being accurate. And the best thing I could tell Pop was be careful, man. Be careful because these cars don't look good. I wasn't going to sugarcoat it. I didn't say he would go get killed. But the death card was the last card he pulled, and it was a lot of violent cars that went, right? Because a lot of times the death card don't mean nothing but that you go change your lifestyle or you go either get richer, you'll get poor again, or whatever. Your situation is going to change. Or you're going to become a new person or whatever. But with these cars that led up to it, I knew it was some violence. I knew it was some violence. And I felt it, and he felt it, and he was different. Once he saw that, he felt it. And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good to me, and I didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. And when I saw him, he was distressed about that. When I last saw him, the last time we talked to each other, he went to do a scene or something. I think he went to do that same scene, and he was sitting there, and he was just looking very depressed and very concerned, and even a little scared. And I hate to say that, but that's the honest to God truth. I hate to even this story for it to be in there like that. But it's the real truth.
What do you say to,
the real truth?
Because you knew him, what do you say to people that say that Pac had a spirit where he was chasing death? Well,
him and Biggie both was too much into that. First of all, ain't no real such thing as death. Everybody comes and goes all the time. That's just where life is. But, like when you go to the spirit. And the spirit is where, everything that you see physical, everything in the universe that you see physical comes from the spirit. The Big Bang, all that shit, all that stuff comes from the spiritual world. The spiritual world is forever. This shit is, everything dies in the physical world. But it don't cease to exist. It just goes back to the spirit, including people. Not just people, but planets and all that shit. So this is some stuff that I knew. The scientists are finding this out right now, but the spiritual people already knew this. And science will eventually prove what the spirit already knows. I've been able to articulate this stuff. And I'm not even that much of an intellectual talker, but I was born and I know how to explain the little stuff that I know. And I read constantly about everything in the music business. As far as all the stars, I can tell you about all the record companies, Atlantic Stax and Motown and everything else. That's my hobby, and my other hobby is reading the spiritual books. Ever since I was a little boy, I knew instantly.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, for shut up?